HCAM News is supported by our viewers and by Hopkinton Drug, located in this historic New England town since 1954. They are a multifaceted store dedicated to providing clients with an array of healthcare options.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of HCAM News. I'm HCAM News Director Tom Nappy, here to fill you in with what's happening in Hopkinton. On today's edition of HCAM News, we talk with new Hillers ski coach Shaun Mato. We have scenes from the Hopkinton Middle School 5K, hosted by the 26.2 Foundation with their Desire to Inspire program, and much more. But first, a cool doll display will be available at the Hopkinton Historical Society. Hi, everybody. We are here today with John Palmer and Janice McIntyre. And today we're going to take a look at some dolls that'll be on display at the Hopkinton Historical Society this Saturday. But before we get into that, Janice, why don't you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about where you're from?
I am from Hopkinton. Grew up in Hopkinton, and I work in Southborough, and then I collect dolls.
All right. And John, how about yourself?
Well, I'm a longtime Hopkintonian, been very active in town government, a number of positions, and my last one, and we just left Hopkinton. I had to resign all my positions, but I still am a member of the Historical Society because that's not a town affiliate. So I'm actually the current president of the Historical Society. I love the job very much because I love history, particularly the history of Hopkinton.
Absolutely. And we're going to have a doll display at the Historical Society this weekend. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. We've been looking for activities to get people in the door here. We are in need of more visibility in the community, and we came across Janice, or she came across us. I'm not sure how it worked, but anyways, Janice has this unbelievable collection, over 100 dolls, all set up in our big meeting room hall. It's spectacular. So, and it's all set to go for Saturday. And
that'll be 10 to 3:30?
That's correct. We'll open at 10 and we'll stay till 3:30 or whatever.
As long as we have the interest, right?
Yeah. We're hoping for a good turnout. I think we've tried to communicate this affair if anybody has any interest in dolls, they must come and see it.
Absolutely. And I understand you have a couple dolls you're going to show us today.
Yeah, I'll show you two different dolls from two different times. We've got dolls from the mid-1800s, then we go to the 1900s, 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, all the way up to the 60s, all around the room. And so they all kind of go in this order. This is an early doll here. It's known as a China head doll. And these dolls were late 1800s. And it's porcelain, but it's a glazed porcelain. And it's a very early doll. So we start with this type, and then move on and go around. Now, this little lady here that John has, she's from the 1950s. And she's called Sweet Sue. She's a hard plastic doll. So she's basically around the other end of the room, but it kind of gives you a contrast of the different types we'll have here.
Do you know how many different types there will be?
Well, we've got over 100 dolls.
So a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. I can give you an idea, China head, then bisque, then celluloid, composition, hard plastic, and vinyl, and cloth.
So the other day, one of the ladies working, I think it was the garden club who was using our space, was working and looking at the dolls and was oohing and ahhing over the Dion quintuplets.
Yeah.
So we have Janice has a collection of the quintuplet dolls for anybody that strikes an interest in it. It certainly was to this person.
Yeah, and they're a composition. So they're from the 1940s.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
How did the Historical Society get all these dolls for display?
It's my collection.
Ah, wow. Terrific.
Yeah.
How long have you been collecting?
Oh, probably 16, 17 years, I would
Wow.
say. A lot of the dolls that I got came to me because people would call. They belonged to their mother, they belonged to their grandmother, they had no interest, their children had no interest, and they just couldn't throw them away. And neither could I. So I ended up with a lot of dolls. I just saved them and then I passed them on as well, quite often.
Well, that's terrific. It should be quite a display this weekend. And Janice, John, thanks so much for joining us. And John, go ahead.
I would like to add one tidbit. In addition to the doll collection, we're calling this an open house. We're opening up our archive side of the room where we're sitting right now, which has our collection of Hopkinton history. We've got a lot of displays for people to look at, old maps, old photographs, postcards, what have you.
It's fascinating.
And it's also going to be available. So you can see the dolls and you can see the history.
Absolutely. And of course, you'll have the holiday stroll and the Christmas tree lighting this weekend as well. So head over to the Historical Society from 10 to 3:30 and then head into town to check out the Christmas tree. Janice and John, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
We recently talked with new Hillers ski coach, Shaun Mato. Here's a look. Hello, everybody. Tom Nappy here. And right now we are joined by head coach of the Hopkinton Hillers ski team, Shaun Mato. Coach, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Congratulations on becoming the new Hillers head coach.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So can you talk about your background a little bit and your experience in skiing and coaching skiing?
Sure. So my personal background, from my racing experience, I skied for the University of New Hampshire a long time ago, graduated in 93. So raced there. It's Division I, certainly top 10 ranked in the country, usually year in, year out. Prior to that, I had skied in high school racing in New Jersey. So spent 4 years doing that, fairly extensive. And I would travel up north to ski in a variety of international and national races. So a lot of race experience, kind of grew up. Didn't start ski racing until about 5th grade, but I learned to ski out in Idaho. So Bogus Basin's a place 16 miles outside of Boise up this windy road. So kind of started there and kind of progressed all the way through college. And then, off and on after college, I did some coaching, but really got back into coaching about 10 years ago when my kids got a little bit older and they started racing themselves. So we skied up in Vermont at Suicide 6 primarily. And then about 3 years ago, we switched and moved to Cannon Mountain. So the kids ski at Franconia Ski Club and I coach there. I coached the U12, so a little younger than my kids, but it's a fairly intense program, one of the best in the country at Franconia. And, we've already started skiing. So we started skiing Saturday already. So it's happening.
And we should have the real snow coming pretty soon as well. So how did you land the Hopkinton gig? How did that come about for you?
Yeah, so I think the former coach had a little bit of a change and she had to move back to Colorado. And so it kind of came up last minute. About 2 weeks ago, they were looking for somebody. And, we had on the radar because our daughter's a freshman. The oldest daughter's a freshman, so she's in the high school right now. And she was obviously going to be part of the program. And so I think the program's been around, 7 years. So certainly, they needed somebody to continue on. I had the race experience. So I threw my name in the hat and, I got the job. I'm pretty excited to get started.
Absolutely. So last year, I know there were some changes with how the meets work. Less schools, I believe, at some of them than typically, and different times and whatnot. Are all those COVID rules from last season gone? Is it like a regular ski season this year that you know of?
Let's hope so. Let's hope it gets closer to normal.
Right.
I don't fully back, but I think we're much closer. Obviously, being an outdoor sport, it makes it a lot easier than indoor sport when it comes to masking. Obviously, you have to use possibly go inside if you need something to eat or something, to go to the bathroom or whatnot. But most of this stuff takes place outside, and so there is a big reduced risk of transmission, I guess, outside. So I think things will be back to normal. I think they're still debating a few things. There's an upcoming meeting about a week from now to kind of finalize the season. But I think a lot of things sound like they're back to normal. But you never know. I mean, there's news changes every day, especially as we go into the winter months where you do see obviously a flu season, and possibly you could see an uptick in transmission of COVID. But who knows? It's an outdoor sport, so there's less pressure, I think, than other indoor sports, possibly.
Absolutely. So have you met any of the members of the team yet? And when do practices start?
Yeah, so the only team member I've met is my daughter. So, got to see her for the past 15 years. So, no, the other kids I haven't met. We're going to do an introductory meeting on Wednesday. Then we'll start dry land on Thursday. And then we'll kind of do dry land Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then for the next few weeks. And, if we can get on snow, it depends on ward. Ski ward probably needs, I think they're saying, 25 degrees or below to, really make some snow. So, we're kind of teetering on that right now. So, we'll get on snow as soon as possible, hopefully before the holiday break. But, we'll really kick off this Wednesday, and then we'll have dry land 3 days a week and, get on snow again as soon as possible, start working on some things.
And I believe the schedule consists of 6 meets, I want to say.
Yeah, from what I've seen, yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Terrific.
So it's a good schedule. A few GSs, which is a little wider turn, than slalom, which is a little quicker turn. So, we'd get both events, and it's a quick season, obviously, but it's a good season, a lot of fun.
Well, I know people certainly enjoyed having the coverage on HCAM last year and watching the ski meets, and we'll once again have the ski meets on HCAM this year as well. Coach, welcome to the Hillers, and we're certainly excited for the season.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
We're going to take a quick time out on this edition of HCAM News. A whole lot more ahead. Stay tuned. HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance. Welcome back to HCAM News. Hopkinton Middle School hosted their annual 5K. The program is hosted by the 26.2 Foundation as part of their Desire to Inspire program. Here's a look. About 150 students at Hopkinton Middle School participated in the annual Hiller Block 5K on a beautiful Thursday afternoon. The students have been learning how to properly train to run a 5K and put the skills they've learned to the test.
We've got a 5K for the middle school PE class that did a 5K training class as part of their PE curriculum.
The 26.2 Foundation organization hosted the event and tracked the times at the finish.
So this is really the kind of the reward for all the kids for the hard work that they have put in over the last, I'm not sure exactly how many weeks, but since the beginning of the school year, where they have learned every aspect of how to safely train for a 5K. So today was the big day for them.
Nice job,
to go out and show, to prove that they've learned how to do it, and they all did.
think to get them active, give them a goal to reach, and do some training, get some physical fitness in. I'm not part of the PE program, but I'm a coach at the high school, so I love seeing kids get excited about running at a younger age.
Running is known to have many physical and mental benefits for people of all ages.
Benefits are endless. They can, good health obviously, they can get motivated to do other things. They can be more focused in their schoolwork and other activities, especially with everything the kids have been through in the last few years with the pandemic. It's something they can always turn to. The kids on the high school team, they could always just go out for a run on their own, even if they weren't specifically training. If we didn't know when our next race was, when things kept getting postponed last year, they always have that to fall back on. And they can do it for their whole lives.
I think, there's so many benefits, you're right. So other than the obvious for physical health, I think that especially now, after what the kids have been through and are really still going through with the pandemic, that mental health has been so important. And this is just such a great way for kids to, have a positive experience, to get out there and, have some endorphins firing through their system. And I know for a lot of people, for a lot of friends of mine who run, it's an opportunity to just really either not think or think and work through issues that they might have. And it's great for reducing stress and anxiety. So there's a lot of benefits, both physical and mental.
First place finishers included Mohammed Beba for the boys and Lucy Jean for the girls. Second place for boys was Aaron Butkus and Liam Grady finished third. Second place for the girls was Alex Clark and Tegan Restaghini finished in third. Fellow students cheered on the runners at the finish line. Here's a look at some of the scenes.
Hopkinton High School recently hosted their pep rally. Here's a look.
Let's have some fun!
Need help with your fall leaf cleanup? Well, there is one last opportunity. On December 4th, Hopkinton High School can help. Volunteers will rake leaves in your yard, and all proceeds go directly to Project Just Because. For more information, head over to hcam.tv. Over 100 dolls on display this Saturday at the Hopkinton Historical Society. Head over to hcam.tv for all the details. The Hopkinton Upper Charles Trail Committee meeting will be live on December 8th at 7 p.m. on HCAM. The Hopkinton Upper Charles Trail Committee will hold the public meeting to update and inform Hopkinton residents of the current status of the overall trail project, which is an 8-mile trail through Hopkinton extending from Milford to Ashland. Following a presentation by the committee chair and VHB engineering consultants, participants are invited to ask questions. The Hopkinton Hillers are our picture of the week, celebrating winning the state championship. It's from November 20th, just before the Thanksgiving break. Congratulations to the Hillers girls varsity volleyball team and coach Margie Grabmeyer, ending her coaching career with a state championship win. Upcoming town government meetings include on Tuesday, December 7th at 6 p.m. We'll have the select board meeting live on HCAM. And then on Thursday, December 9th at 7 p.m., the school committee meeting live on HCAM Ed. For all upcoming town government meetings, head over to hopkintonma.gov. Believe it or not, we are out of time for this edition of HCAM News, but don't worry, next Thursday at 6:30 p.m., we'll be back. For everyone at HCAM, I'm Tom Nappy. Take care, be well, and we'll talk to you again soon.
On Saturday, November 20th, the third-seeded 24-0 Hopkinton Hillers took on first-seeded 21-0 Westboro Rangers at Tewksbury High School in the Division II state championship, and it was an absolute battle. Here's a look at what happened. Steve Sweetapple and Matt Clancy on the call.
He just tips it over. Outside, Quinn Anderson. Nice swing there by Quinn Anderson. He can unleash the jump serve here. Here it comes. Well, she played it safe. Kwong handled it. Anderson from the outside. KP, Catherine outside to Mel. Blocked. Gilday nice play by Mel. Nobody home. On the backside. Sam, knuckleball down the line. Great block by KP. They were ready for it. Sam, Anderson handles that. Clark, go to Anderson from the back. And that's in, that's it. Westboro takes the first set, 25-19. Sam goes down the line, Pong is there. Clark, little confusion there. Catherine, bump set from KD. Bell, good swing, Bell. That's a good start for Hopkinton. Nice serve, Sam handles that. Great bump. KP. Takes some off it. So Westboro will be back next year. Bump set, Bell. Moore gets to it, Clark. Outside to Anderson. Top spin roll. Abby Hebert's there. KP blocked. KP keeps it alive. With it. Back to her, back to Annabelle. Moore hits the floor. Got a free ball here. KP, Catherine, KP, kept alive by the Rangers. Anderson, Hebert's there. Outside, Bell off the net. Gets it through. Try it out. Sam, Catherine pulls it back. Michaela's there. Kwong, bump set to Quinn Anderson. Right down the middle. Great swing. Nice swing. Coach Grabmeyer's calling a timeout. Karen with the serve. Floats one in. Trush handles it. Short set. Great block by KP. Keeps it alive. Nice block at the net. There's the first one. Oh, Catherine. Great reaction time. Well done, KP. Great hustle. Nice block. A nice swing. And Coach Anderson calling timeout here. Hopkinton